Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our virtual study abroad fair. It's my pleasure today to introduce our guest speaker, Diana Rosales. Diana is from CEDEI, located in Cuenca, Ecuador, and we're quite pleased to have her join us to talk about the program and give us some insight as to what life is like in the Andes Mountains of one of the most beautiful countries in the world, Ecuador. My name is Scott Pearson, and I'll be the moderator for today's discussion. Fortunately, for all of you, I have the unique pleasure of, in addition to being the moderator, I actually studied at CEDEI in Cuenca, Ecuador, many, many years ago. So it holds this very, very special place in my heart. And I'm happy to talk more with Stout students. I'm sure quite a bit has changed in almost 25 years, but it's a fantastic program. I can't say enough about it. So with that being said, I'm going to transition over to Diana to introduce herself and to tell us all about this amazing opportunity. Diana.
Thank you, Scott, and hello, everyone. As Scott said, my name is Diana Rosales, and I'm the director of the international programs at CEDEI Foundation in Ecuador. I'm really excited to share with you about our organization and also about our country and what opportunities we can offer to you as students to study abroad with us. I'm going to share, I have a short presentation with PowerPoint, and also I want to share a short video that I would like to show you a little bit about Ecuador. If you're not familiar with the country or you don't know where we are, it's great to know a little bit more about Ecuador. We usually refer to our country as the country with four walls in one place, because we have 4 different regions due to the location of our country. We're in the equator. That's why we're called Ecuador. But we also have the opportunity to have access to the Amazon jungle. We have the Andes mountain, so we have lots of mountains and highlands. We have a coast towards the Pacific Ocean, and I'm sure you have heard about the Galapagos Island, which belong to Ecuador as well. Now I'm going to show you a very short video about Ecuador that I hope you enjoy. Let's see. So that was just a little bit of the variety of landscapes that Ecuador has to offer. And as I said, we as CEDEI, we're located in Cuenca, which is in the highlands in the southern part of Ecuador. And but we also have a lot of different places that we include in part of our programs. So a little bit about CEDEI. In general, we are a non-for-profit institution of higher education. We were founded in 1992 and we are located, as I said, in Cuenca, Ecuador. The founders of our institution were actually university and college professors, mainly from the US, from Ecuador and Peru, who were very interested in promoting this exchange among peoples and countries of the Americas, through which, academic and cultural exchange opportunities. We think that this idea is to promote a better world by educating global citizens. Our institution has two main programs. One of them is an ESL school. We have an English language school for Ecuadorian students. We usually have over 1,000 students every cycle, which is every 2 months. And now, because of the emergency, we used to have in-person classes, but we moved completely online. So we're offering online courses, which has been a great opportunity for many young people and older people to study English. We have students as young as 8 years old to 90 years old. And we also have the international programs, which are the ones that we offer for study abroad opportunities for international students and also faculty who might be interested in doing research or visiting South America, especially focusing on the cultural immersion, learning about the culture from different elements, including the language, the people, the costumes. And we would be very excited if you decide to come to Ecuador. Part of the experience that CEDEI offers in our study abroad programs is that we want to have, that our students have a holistic or comprehensive experience through 6 components. One of them, as I said, is the cultural immersion. The idea is that, we offer customized courses and you learn about the culture, you learn about the host community from the classes that you have, but also from other activities, such as we offer lectures from local professionals in different areas. We offer dancing classes, cooking classes, art classes, because from all these aspects, you can also learn about the country. All our students stay with host families, which are local host families. And this is sometimes the scariest part of students when they're coming, but at the end, it's usually the one that they remember the most. They really like this experience of getting to know locals by living with them and seeing what they do on a daily basis. So you experience living abroad as more like a local rather than a tourist. As I have talked about the diversity in our country, we want to promote excursions in a way to get to know the country. The main places that most of our programs include are visiting the Galapagos Island, the Amazon jungle. Given the proximity to Peru, we also take students to Machu Picchu, and also visiting important areas or places in our country, such as Quito, which is the capital, or indigenous towns like Otavalo, Cañar, Saraguro. And we also have lots of natural parks and reserves that are very close to Cuenca to visit with our students. Also, the idea of getting to know the country and having this immersion is through language. We offer Spanish language courses. Usually they are accommodated to the students' levels. And because we offer these small courses, usually you will be placed in a course according to your language proficiency. So students usually take a placement exam before coming to Ecuador to determine what level they are. And it's not necessarily that you have to speak Spanish to participate in a program. Another feature of our programs is that we are located in Cuenca. You have the experience of living and studying in a colonial city in the Andes Mountains. We are the 3rd largest city of Ecuador. We have around 600,000 people living here. And Cuenca is UNESCO's World Heritage Site for its downtown. And finally, and because we know it's important, students can earn academic credits for the courses that they take at CEDEI. usually we do partnerships with the universities, so they already review and are sure that the curricula that students study while they're in CEDEI can count towards credits for their majors in their home university. It's important, of course, to highlight Cuenca because it's one of the, for Cuencanos, we're very proud about our city. Although we are in the mountains, we are in a valley, so most of the city is, flat, is easy to walk around. So I'm going to share with you another video to give you an idea about our city specifically. Let me show you. So that's another little piece of Cuenca. You can see a little bit of the downtown and some of the surroundings. As you see, we have the nature and many activities that students and visitors in general and locals as well enjoy living in this city. Here are some pictures about some of the activities or places that we visit. Because we're in the equator, we usually take our students to visit the equatorial line. You can visit, and we try to show the main features of each of the main cities that we visit. We also try to promote that students get to know locals. We have lots of local artists in areas such as ceramics, music, painting. So you have lots of opportunities to get immersed into the culture by doing this, visiting these places. Another main feature around Cuenca is that we have the Cajas National Park right outside of Cuenca. It has thousands of lagoons. It's the main source of water for our area. And usually we take students for a hike there. It's quite high. It's 13,000 feet above sea level. I think that Wisconsin is like 700 feet, so you can imagine the difference. But it's a beautiful and amazing experience for our students. And also try to do lots of community tourism. So we try to visit local communities and get to know their traditions, their customs. And rather than being an observer as a tourist, we want the students to interact and get to know people, real people doing the things that they do every day. Some of the programs that we have is we offer a semester in the Andes program, which is usually at the same time that the US academic year. We offer for fall and spring. We also have a Tefl Certificate program, so students can get certified to teach English as a foreign language. We offer as well faculty-led programs in different areas such as geography, biology, international studies, education. They also can be customized programs for specific partnerships that we have. For example, we have students from a medical field, and we organize a program focused on health, and students get to know or understand more about the Ecuadorian health system. But also we have individual study abroad programs for people who might be interested in coming to Ecuador for a few weeks and want to have the experience of living with a family, taking Spanish lessons, and doing some of the excursions as we offer for group programs. Here's more details about the semester in the Andes. As I said, it is usually for fall and spring. Students can earn between 12 to 18 credits in different majors, from environmental science or studies to sociology, anthropology, of course, Spanish. We have a course catalog in our website, and I will also share this information with your study abroad office so they can have all this information for you as well. We offer excursions. Our semester program has a wide variety of trips. You start the orientation trip with a week traveling to the Amazon jungle. In the midterm break, you have a trip to the Galapagos Island, and the final trip at the end of the semester includes going to Machu Picchu. As I said, it's not required to speak Spanish. We offer classes in English and Spanish. Our semester is divided in 2 quarters, so the idea is that students who are not proficient in Spanish might be able to take classes on their majors in English on the first quarter while taking Spanish as second language. So for the second quarter, when you take new classes, you might be able to already take, I don't know, like a literature class in Spanish already. So the idea is you don't feel limited if you don't speak Spanish at a level to take classes fully in Spanish. Homestay is with local families. Usually we place 1 student per family. The idea is that you get out of your comfort zone and you can actually interact with the family. And again, can sound scary at the beginning, but actually it's a great experience for our students. It's usually what they like the most. And for students who have already some intermediate, high intermediate or advanced level of Spanish can actually participate in internships. And all our programs have a community service, so we try to involve students in certain activities to give back to the host community. The Tefl Certificate, as I said, we are an institution recognized by the Ministry of Education, so we offer this program usually every summer, and you get to have the experience of learning how to teach English and also to practice by doing some teaching at our language school. It's also a study abroad experience for some students who might want to take advantage of summer, or they just graduate and want to get the certificate, which is valid and recognized worldwide. But also you will live with a host family, have few excursions. So it's also another type of study abroad program. Some students can actually earn credits. If you are in linguistics or ESL, major or minor, you can actually earn some credits for this class because it's very intense. It's over 114 hours of work, and also includes community service. So you have the opportunity to go to a rural community and put in practice what you're learning, how to teach English. And because we have this ESL school, if you complete the certificate successfully, you can apply to work as an English teacher in our school. So if students that might want to take a gap year or have another type of experience abroad, we have many teachers that stay with us for 1 or 2 years teaching English after they get the certificate with us. And also the individual programs, as I said, if you have some time that you might want to take advantage and travel South America and get the experience of living with a family or having like one-on-one classes of Spanish. We offer in person, and right now we're also offering online Spanish lessons. Again, these are customized to each student level. The internship, as I said, usually can also be another individual opportunity, which can also be part of the semester program. So you can take as one class the internship. But again, for this, you need an advanced level of Spanish. And finally, we also offer medical Spanish programs. For now, they're only during summer. So these are Spanish lessons, but focused on terms and words and some definitions that might be helpful for people in the medical field. And also we provide opportunities to visit clinics or institutions, local institutions related to health or the Ministry of Health, so the students can get to know how the health system works in Ecuador. So this is what I have in general. Here I have my information. You can also find us on social media. We are on Facebook and also on Instagram. I will stop sharing my screen, but I will be happy to answer some questions if you have some about CEDEI of Ecuador in general.
Great. Thank you so much for the great presentation, Diana. I know that we have at least one current student on the call, and if anybody has questions, feel free to post them in the chat, and I'll make sure to bring them about so we can talk about them. You know, in addition to myself and having had an experience there almost 25 years ago, I know my colleague Chelasia also had the opportunity to study with CEDEI while she was conducting some research. So you have two alumna on the call here, and we're very big proponents and excited about our new partnership with CEDEI. And just so everybody knows, this is a very new partnership. We're going to start taking applications for the future terms. With being in the midst of a pandemic right now, we're not exactly sure that programs will be running in the spring at this very point in time, but we do have a lot of hope and are looking forward to summer programming and beyond. So if there are students that are interested in applying, I guess one question I have for you, Diana, is are you taking applications right now for the spring semester?
Yeah, so for same thing for us, as the situation with the COVID, it's still uncertain for all places. We are accepting applications, but we might confirm by late October whether the program will be running or not, depending on the regulations that the government established in terms of in-person classes, because right now in-person classes are not allowed in Ecuador. So that's why we are offering like the English classes online, as well as Spanish classes. So we have to wait until the government decides whether or not in-person classes will resume for January. But for now, we're still considering to run the program.
Okay. Likewise, so if there are students that are interested in applying, we would encourage you to do so. If for some reason the program must be canceled, you'll certainly receive a refund of any deposits or expenses paid due to the circumstances. So no harm in beginning an application and actually submitting it. One other question I had for you, Diana, I know that there's been a movement given the current circumstances where there are more course offerings online. Are you offering any Spanish courses online whereby students might be able to take them virtually from Wisconsin or the United States in general in the short term? Oh, Deanna, can you hear me? I think we might have frozen, but we'll give you an opportunity to come back. And while we're waiting for you to come back, Chela, are you still on the call?
Yes, I am.
Great, Chela. Do you want to talk a little bit about your experience at CEDEI? I'm not going to date yourself. I know that for me it was quite some time ago, but tell me about your experience. What did you really enjoy, and in what capacity were you there?
Sure. So sorry also if I repeat anything. I just was able to pop in here towards the end of the session. So I studied at CEDEI during my master's program, and I did an internship with an organization called Cordillera Tropical in Cuenca for a summer because I was doing some research with them. And I wanted to kind of make that experience even better by combining my internship with some additional language courses. So that's when I took a class at CEDEI If I recall, it was more of a one-on-one because by that time I had already done Spanish immersion and I was about to maybe low intermediate level, and I really wanted to improve it. And I was prepping to do interviews in the countryside in outside of Cuenca. I had a wonderful experience. I had a great teacher, and I would also say I love the Spanish in Cuenca. It's just beautiful. It's like a song. and and then when I went to the coast, I was like, oh, it's so fast. I wanted to get back to Cuenca. And I'd also add that there are so many beautiful places to see in the area of Cuenca. I had too little time in the summer that I spent there.
Great, thank you so much. Diana, I'm sorry we lost you, but you're back with us. I'm glad to see that.
Yeah, sorry.
And so just before we get disconnected, I was just about to ask, let's say, for example, that spring semester students aren't able to go in person, whether that be from the US side or from the Ecuadorian side. Are you offering courses online for Spanish language learning as well?
Correct. Yeah, we're doing that. As for now, we're offering English, Spanish lessons like customized, but the idea is that for January, we might also have 4 credit courses so students can take Spanish, and hopefully they confirm with the school that the curricula is appropriate to what they might take back home. They can take the classes online. And most likely will be also very small groups. We are expecting just offering classes for 1 to 3 students per class, as we usually do in person. So with that, students can also take advantage of studying Spanish virtually with our teachers.
Wonderful. Excellent. When I studied at CEDEI, it was quite some time ago, and I remember it was a summer. I was there for, I took 2 classes, totaling 6 credits. One was from a faculty member that accompanied us from my home institution, and the other was from a local professor. And it was really interesting to, I remember the professor spoke Quechuan. I think that may have been her first language, and it was really neat to study, the different culture within Ecuador there, and to learn a little bit of a language that I had very little knowledge of. And I remember it being a really special experience. In that type of capacity, I imagine there's opportunity for our Spanish language department to run courses and also have our students take courses outside through the institute itself. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah. I think that's a great opportunity for. We usually do that with the students with Spanish majors, that the language department confirms and review. We offer, the CEDEI in advance, so students can actually share that with their teachers or professors back home to ensure that. Usually, what we try to do is to have the equivalent of the hours and the material that they could cover on a similar class in their home institution.
Very good. And because I know from a previous session, the one of the students that's online with us right now, he is a Spanish minor, and or at least I believe he's leaning that direction. He's also a computer science major, and we thought there might be some opportunity for students, to engage in a variety of different majors, and there might even be some interesting internships that students where they can get involved in at a different level. Could you talk to opportunities that might exist in Cuenca at CEDEI for students that are not necessarily majoring in Spanish, but maybe having Spanish as a minor, and how you work to accommodate some of their major requirements or major interests?
Yeah, definitely. The idea is that we don't want to focus or limit participating in this program to students who are majoring in Spanish or even just minoring in Spanish. We have students from different fields, and the idea is that because we have our faculty, like full-time working at CEDEI, we have a diversity of different areas that we offer classes in other fields. If you can see on our catalog, we have classes in business, in management, in literature, in art. So some students who are not or don't want to take like 6 courses Spanish. Some students have taken like general education courses that can be transferred as gen ed classes, like art or music, and also students from other majors can also take advantage if they have already some Spanish level, like if you're minoring in Spanish, to complete an internship or do an independent study, counting for academic credits in your field. Like we have students who were into urban planning. So a student did an internship with the local municipality in the urban planning department, while he was also taking, like he was practicing his Spanish, but also applying or counting this internship as one of his classes for his major.
Okay, wonderful. So tell us, in terms of, we have quite a few students here at Stout where it might end up being, a very first experience overseas. Tell us about the kind of support that students receive at CEDEI. I'm sure that, you work with quite a few universities, and it's probably not uncommon where a student might be having a first international experience at CEDEI. What kind of care and additional support do you provide for those kinds of students? I'm sure the homestay family is a big plus in that aspect too.
Yes, you're right. We highly recommend this type of programs for students who might be a little bit scared, or like because it's the first experience abroad. And we, as a program, we try to take care of those first experiencers by providing comprehensive support. From the staff that works at CEDEI, we pretty much are 24/7 on call when we have students here. We have a very strong network working with our host families. So when students are not working or doing activities with CEDEI, like in classrooms or excursions, they are with their host family. So they always have somebody to count on or to approach if they have some type of emergency or situation. And the city itself is very friendly with foreigners. So you might not really feel like being in a very large city where, like people won't consider you if you're from outside or you're local. People in Cuenca are very characteristics of being very friendly, especially with foreigners. So we try to provide all that support so students can always have somebody to call or reach out in case of an emergency. But at the same time, because we want you to feel a local, we provide opportunities that you can also explore the city on your own or try to do things independently, but always knowing that you can contact CEDEI. Either we have coordinators, we have a great host family coordinator, which is also like student well-being director, who's always checking on students, and also our teachers, because our school is so small that usually we get to know each of our students by name, and teachers get to know the students. And the idea is that they get part of CEDEI's family while they are here. I myself studied abroad when I was in college, and I went to UW-Madison, which is a huge school. And I really felt like I was one tiny thing in this large school in this big city, although Madison is not that big. And I don't want my students to feel that. So when they come to Cuenca, they end up feeling that they belong to this small town and they belong to the community. So that's a great opportunity for people who might not have experienced being abroad before.
Excellent. And speaking about the host family relationship a little bit more, I know that you had mentioned a couple times that it might seem quite scary at first, right? But the reality is, it's once students kind of figure out, how the system works in terms of coming and going between school and the home environment. And then, of course, really wonderful relationships develop with families. I know that, like I said, almost a quarter century ago, I was there, and I kept in touch with my family for quite some time after the experience. So these are lasting memories and wonderful relationships that are being created. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the families that you work with to coordinate the host family relationships, are located within close proximity to the university, or at least they're connected via public transportation. So it's actually quite accessible and quite easy to get to and from the household to the school itself. Is that right?
Yes, you're right. We have families who have worked with us for almost like the same lifetime that CEDEI has. So maybe your house family already is working with us, which creates, that we get to know the families very well. And it's true, Cuenca is a walkable city, so pretty much you can get everywhere, either walking, using a bike, or using public transportation, which is in generally very good. We just are using our new streetcar, the tranvía, which is very new and the only one in Ecuador. So it's easy for students to move around. And we try to find families who are nearby. We are located downtown, and downtown is no longer a residential area, so it's few families live there, but most of them are between like 10 to 35 minutes walking from CEDEI. So the idea is that students can move around independently, and they don't have to ask somebody in the host family to take them somewhere. So they get to know their surroundings, and they can go to CEDEI or visit different places in town without the need of, taking a cab or bus. And even if you need, it's very affordable. Like a bus ride fare is 30 cents, which we use US dollars, by the way, so it's easier for students to manage their budget here. But yeah, the idea is that families are located in close areas, and usually we place students in the same neighborhood. So the idea is, if you come with a friend or something, that friend might be located in 2 houses away from yours. So you can walk together or share a taxi if you need. And families make sure to show students how to get to CEDEI, how to return home. So it's not that you're going to be on your own from the first day.
And I'm sure that the families try to accommodate, the needs of the students as best as they can as well, too, with any dietary restrictions or any other, accommodations that students might ask. Isn't that correct?
Yeah. Yes. Before coming to Ecuador, students are required to fill out some forms. One of them is the Homestay Questionnaire. So we ask a few questions to get to know the student. And we try to fulfill those requirements or needs, especially, if we have student who is vegan or has specific requirements, like might have some situation that cannot walk too far. So we try to accommodate the student needs. Most of the cases we get most of them, but of course, like we have a student once that she put on her, we said, describe your ideal family. And she said, I want a family who has a horse and a dog. So of course we couldn't get a family with a horse. But we tried as close as possible, especially for students who, or even if you want to have a family with younger siblings, or if you want to have siblings that, are older than you, or things like that. We have a wide variety in our host families. We have about over 100 families on our pool. So many of them have worked with us for over 20 years. Some of their children, now they're grown-ups, and they also are host families. So many of them, and they do it because they like this exchange opportunity. They don't do it. They get a stipend, but it's not necessarily, they don't do it for the business. It's because they like that, having somebody to share about Ecuador and get to know the person culture as well.
Wonderful. Rami, did you have any questions? I know that you're on the line here, and I appreciate having you join us. Feel free to post them in the box there if you do. I think at least I'm very, very excited about our new partnership, and I think there'll be quite a few students that will be interested in taking a semester or even a summer or winter opportunity as we start to run more faculty-led programs. Andrea, Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Another benefit of our program is that Ecuador has like, because we're in the equator, we have like spring weather pretty much all year round. So I know Wisconsin's weather. So if
You
you're
do. Yeah.
in spring or winter break, it's a great getaway from that weather.
Absolutely. Definitely. And I think it's a really unique experience, being that, you know, you're the director there and you've had a significant portion of your life living in Wisconsin. And then, of course, on our advisement team, myself and Chela, having lived and having had the experience there in CEDEI, there's this wonderful connection in terms of we really know what it's like to be in the other locations. So happy to meet with students to talk more about this experience and to connect them with you for any future questions or concerns. But we're, like I said, very, very excited about the partnership. I know that there's going to be some really unique opportunities, especially for students that are within our School of Education, being that you have, you know, quite a footprint there in the local education sector in terms of English speaking, but also through some relationships at the local school level too. So potentially some good student teaching opportunities as well to explore. Yeah. Well, again, we really appreciate your time, and like I said, this presentation is being recorded, and it'll be readily available for our students. I just want to let all of the students who are watching this know that our team is available to meet with students virtually this semester. Hopefully, we won't have to do that next semester as well. We can meet in person, but we are taking appointments through a specific website. Let me just share that real quickly here with everybody. And before we close, I just want to make sure that everybody knows how to get in touch. And my computer will load. Let's see. You know what? I'm just going to cut and paste because my screen is not. Now I'm having some loading issues at my end. Here we go. Here is the website where students can actually book an appointment with an OIE study abroad advisor. And you also can write us at studyabroad@uwstout.edu. And last but not least, our website in general is www.uwstout.edu/studyabroad. And that can take you to our search engine with all of our amazing opportunities, including the CEDEI experience in Cuenca, Ecuador. So thank you again, Diana, for your time. And we look forward to working with you and hopefully sending a large number of Stout students to have a wonderful experience, the same one that we had many years ago.
Yeah, thank you, Scott, and thank you, everyone. I'm really excited to share about Ecuador, about CEDEI, and I look forward to having all of you to come and visit us in Cuenca.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, ciao.